Good. Yeah, a couple of cameras. One is on slightly on my right, and the other one slightly on my left. So that gives me left, that's Facebook camera, and on my right is YouTube camera. And good evening, Wanawamari, wherever we are listening from, wherever we are watching from. This is your evangelist, and thank you very much for joining in to this evening talk. And usually Sunday is a 1 hour talk, which we call the after church service talk. But today it might be slightly longer because it's going to cover a few things that we have gone through the week. We have been in a weekend of Easter Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and tomorrow is Easter Monday, where the weekend, Easter is done and dusted. And a lot of people have been asking so many questions about Christians and Easter. Where does this come from? Do we celebrate Easter, or this is something that is a hidden thing? And the answer to that question is quite wide open. It all depends what you believe. Let me say, vana vaMwari pasi pana vanonamata Mwari kuburikidza naJesu Kristu, uyo anova mwana wake mumwe chete akatumwa pasi pano kuti azodzikinura vanhu nemutengo weropa. Now, Easter, as we know it, it is a day or some days to mark or to commemorate kutambudzika, kufa nekumuka kwaJesu Kristu. Now, it doesn't matter when you celebrate this. It's not about days. It is about who is central to what you are celebrating. Imbofunga iwewe kuti uno-celebrate a birthday. Kune vanhu vano-celebrate a birthday. I don't celebrate birthdays myself because it doesn't mean anything to me. That's my belief. You might be different. Will not celebrate a birthday, usingati celebrate a day of conception. I don't know how you twist this thing. What is more important, the day you were conceived or the day you left your mother's time? What is more important than the other? So I put wisdom. To me, the day of conception is more important than the day of birth. Because without conception, there is no birth. So why would I celebrate a day I was born and not the day I was conceived? So there are so many reasons why I cannot celebrate the day I was conceived, because that is a gray area. Who knows exactly what day they were conceived and what time, apart from God? And does it really matter? Oh, what matters is you as a person. So who do you celebrate? Do you celebrate a day of conception, or do you celebrate a day of death, or you celebrate the day of your death? I've seen people celebrating, saying, we remember people on the day that we died. What for? But that is me. You have got a different opinion. You've got a different perception. But sometimes we need to stand back a little bit and observe things. That's why we teach meditation and mindfulness. Meditation, mindfulness will teach you to focus on things that matter, to focus on things that are effective, rather than things that are trivial. Possibly you know the reason why I'm saying the day of conception is more important than the day you were born. in one sexual act, millions of sperms are produced. And it is only one sperm that is lucky to fertilize an ovum, an egg. So, zuva rakakosha nderipi panosarudzwa from millions, or panobuda one that is already formed and decided out. I think the day of conception is more important. So if we were to celebrate a day, it would be celebrating the day that Mary received a message from the angel that you shall be a son. And she conceived Jesus Christ. If we were to celebrate a day, that would be the day to celebrate. But now God made it a secret that there is no time recorded, as though it didn't happen. Time yakazvarwa Jesu Kristu magetsi anga akuchengetwa. But for some reason, God has made it mystery because it is not documented anywhere. There is no particular date. Why is that so? Because dates and days do not matter. What matters is what we got out of those particular days and time, which is our Lord Jesus Christ. So whether he died in April or in May or in June, it doesn't matter. What matters is his death is about the forgiveness of sins, for the redemption of mankind, for the salvation of mankind. That is what matters. Kuti tizive kuti isusu Easter inomboitikira papi, mazuva acho ndiwo aya here, kana kuti tinosignify sei. And a lot of people will start talking about this. Jesu Kristu anotaura iye kuti destroy this temple and I will rebuild in 3 days. And it has been interpreted to me, he was talking about his own death, that if I die within 3 days, I will resurrect. And people have been making errors, and people continue to make such errors, that 3 days to you, it is 72 hours. So people have been trying to calculate, okay, so Jesus, and you know what is so the same in the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, is that both of them say before the Sabbath. Before the Sabbath, Jesus was taken down. Before sunset, before twilight, they all are consistent. All of them are also consistent in particular about the time when he was crucified. It was in the morning, around 9. So both Gospels, they talk about the same thing. So if we want to talk about when Jesus Christ was crucified and died, he died on Friday, because this was the day before the Sabbath. And Sabbath, according to the Bible, is Saturday in today's date. If we want to take it that way. Or if it meant another day, then that's a story. That is an issue for another day. So in other words, what we are saying is all the arrest and the trial of Jesus Christ happened by Thursday. And by morning, Pontius Pilate declared Jesus, or condemned Jesus Christ to the cross and released Barabbas. So 3 days, 72 hours that we talk about would not have been Sunday when Jesus rose from the dead. But we know the women came to visit the tomb after Sabbath. So they would not have gone during the night of Saturday. They should have gone on Sunday. So Friday night, Saturday night, those are just 2 nights. And by morning of Sunday, Jesus had risen. So he did not fulfill the Jewish way of calculating days, that days are calculated according to night and day. So 1 day and 1 night is a day. That's why you always hear Jesus was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. Moses was in the Mount Sinai with God for 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days, 40 nights. A day and a night completes the cycle. No hours, no nothing, not talking of hours. So it has become a mystery. It is a mystery. Jesus Christ, we can say today, oh yes, it was 3 days, because Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, counting them just like that as we name them, that constitutes 3. Whether it's 24 hours, 12 hours, 1 hour, that's none of our business. That does not matter. That is besides the point. What is more important and what matters is he rose from the dead. That's what is important. He died for our sins, and he resurrected from the dead, and he ascended to heaven. That is what matters. Zvekuti musi upi, isvondo ripi, madhezi acho akambodhidhimimwa nani, zviri correct here kuti titi happy Easter kana kuti chii, it's besides the point. Let us be wise. Let us use our wisdom. Let's meditate upon these things. What does meditation teach us? Meditation teaches us to always be calculating in the way that we process information. We process information in a grounded manner, in the here and now, in the present moment, being aware of what is important, what is effective. We are not wanting things to be good or to be bad. Whatever they are, this is what matters more. And we sit and settle for that. And that is meditation. That is mindfulness. And how do we do it? We do it either by focusing on our breath. Some people will say, I just sit, hands down, and I just close my eyes, and I pay attention to my breath. And I know God is saying, be still and know that I am God. My situation and my circumstance, I know I'm a victor. I will overcome. This is trying my patience, my resilience. And if I become patient and persistent and consistent, I will overcome. God said, be still and know that I am God. And this is what matters. Naye nditaurirewo vana vaMwari, tikarega isisu kucelebrata, ndikaregera zvangu inini kuti okay, handisi kuda zvangu kuti ndiise set aside zuva any particular day rekuti nditi Jesu akafa pamuchinji, akaroverwa pamuchinji paakamuka. Asi zvinhu zvandoziva, and ndinoziva kuti ndo zvinondiraramisa. And I observe that on a daily basis. Does that make me a non-Christian? No. Nhasi ndanzwa rimwe shoko randispa ndanakitswa. Hanzi kubvuma kunzi Christian, kubvuma kusenzeswa nickname, kunemwa, kutukwa. Because people were called Christians. Sechiseko chokuvaseka kuti avo vanoteera Jesu Kristu avo. Yeah, just call them Christians. But iye Kristu wega mbune mwanakomana waMwari haana kumbobvira atipa zita rekuti Christian. Akatiti vana vake, akatiita vana vake, akatiti hatisiri varanda asi tava ndiwe nhaka. But it doesn't matter. Whatever you're called, it doesn't take away the fact that you are followers of Christ. And what is important as we follow Christ, what is important is what do you identify yourself with? Love. Because this is the instruction of Jesus Christ. Kana muchida kuzikanwa sevadzidzi vangu. Listen, this is the word of the Lord. You will be identified by love. Kana uchida kuziva kuti uyu muKristu, kana uchida kuziva kuti this is the child of God, you shall know them by the love that they have. Universal love, global love. This is not going to be love towards the people who express their desire to associate with us only, but even our enemies. And Jesus Christ said, this is how you will be identified. You will be identified by love. Saona kuti vana Paul, vana John, vana Peter, pavanguva kunyora matsamba avo vasiyiwa Jesu aenda. The main focus was love. God is love. For God so loved the world that he gave us his one and only Son. One and only Son to leave heaven to come here. Abraham is called, is referred to. Abraham is known for loving God to the extent that he obeyed with faith his instruction to sacrifice his one and only Son. And God said to Abraham, because you have shown your unwavering love, I'm going to make you a father to many children. Not only children from your own loins, but also from all nations, all people throughout the world. They shall be called because of you, because of your faith. And this is what brings us closer. This is the closest that we can be to the tribe of Abraham, to the descendants of Abraham, because of faith. Now, love and faith are mazuva. Hazvina mazuva zvokuti ndinofanira kuda paEaster chete. Ndosaka taitaura nembiriso. Kune vamwe vanhu vachiri kufunga, vachiri kuparidza about yeast, baking powder, that during the period Easter, during the period Passover, and they don't understand what Passover is again. During the period Passover, Pasika, they said you should not eat. Munhu wekurasika kunoita vanhu kana vachitarisa Bible ete literally and literally. These are two different words. Literally and literally. The Bible is a huge code which can only be understood if we take a moment not to struggle, to fight, or not to want to say, no, this verse is, but to say, you know what, God, you have said in your word, Deuteronomy 29:20, the things that are kept secret will belong to God. And those that you have revealed You have revealed them to us so that we can share them with our families and our sons and our children to help solve the mystery of life. So, for us to understand the essence of life, we need to develop this sense of high awareness. The sense of high awareness that is achieved by giving ourselves space to think clearly, silently, and then God speaks to us. And He reveals a lot of things. Those who have been following my channel, my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel, my page, by now, I want to tell you, you can testify that your life has changed. Your doubt about yourself has changed. You no longer doubt yourself. You are more confident that you understand that life is what it is. Wanting it to be different than what it is wishing to cause yourself unnecessary worry and anxiety. And you have managed to do this just by simply sitting down, allocating yourself time every day, whether you are in bed or you are in your lounge, in a quiet place, you must say, I am going to sit down and I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be silent. Because Jesu Kristu wakanditaura wakati, onai, kunamata muchiteedzera kwese kwatinonzwa kuchitwa nevanhu vese. Jesu Kristu wegani anotaura kuti ndezvekuda kuonekwa nevanhu, because it's not necessary. Asi kuti musanamate muchidaidzira. Kana neniwo ndotonamata ndichitaura ndichishauta zvekuti but Jesu Kristu akataura kuti zvese izvozvo ndezvoda kuonekwa nevanhu. Zvese izvozvo hazvina basa. Why? Because Mwari wenyu wamunonamata ndiMwari anoziva zvakawanzika. Anoziva zvamunoda nhasi, mangwani nekusingaperi. Therefore, to shout at God, to tell him stuff, you're just making noise. All you need to do is to think. Mwari, upenyu hwangu kwauri kuenda handisi kukunzwisisa. Guide me. And I'm going to, next 20 minutes, I'm just going to sit down. Next 40 minutes, next 1 hour, or next, I'm not going to put a timer on the time that I'm going to sit, but you know what, God? I'm going to sit and I'm going to meditate. Please help me solve this mystery. You sit down, you close your eyes, and you observe, notice, be aware of your present moment. It can be noises around you, it can be your breath, or it can be just noticing your thoughts. Or it could be, sometimes you can think of statements, and you say, you know what, for this 30 minutes, 20 minutes, all I'm going to say to myself is, this too shall pass. And I will overcome. This too will pass. And I will overcome. This too will pass. And I will overcome. This too will pass. And I will overcome. And you're silent. And for the next 20, 30, 45 minutes, this is all that you are going to say. What you are doing is you are changing the chemistry of your brain. You are changing the wiring of your brain from being negative to being positive. Because now inoitika kazhinji ndeyekuti we panic kana upenyu huchinovaoma. Listen to Jesus Christ when he was going to the cross. You look back and say, zvichemei imi nevana venyu. What a mindful statement, a mindful warning, advice. Because these people were not being effective. Vanga vari kuchema Jesu. Jesu ndiani? Jesu ndimwari. It's unfortunate kuti they didn't believe. His brothers, his mother, his father, they still had some doubts about him. How dare they think Jesus Christ will be killed? How dare them think Jesus Christ will be murdered by the Romans? Because if he really wanted to escape, he would have done so. How many times did he evade capture, arrest, and everything? So many times he did do that. So if we know such things, we can be effective in the way that we think. And we need to rewire. This is what meditation does. It rewires your mind so that instead of using your amygdala down there where emotions and everything are, you use the front cortex, the front bit of your mind where you find logic, reason, and wisdom. Because when you are emotional, when you are using the lower part, the animal part, the reptile part of your brain, it disables or it hinders the use of your front bit of the brain, which makes a lot of sense, good sense of well. That's why you even see today. Let me tell you one thing about meditation and mindfulness. If you didn't know, big organizations, I'm talking of big organizations, are now making sure that their staff are taught mindfulness and meditation, and they practice it now and then. And within their organizations, their offices, they have set aside quiet rooms where people can go and spend some quiet time to meditate or to practice mindfulness. And some organizations even enforce it to say, during your shift, you must take time away from the office and refresh your mind and be mindful and meditate. Find time. I'm talking of big organizations. Governments, some governments are doing that. Their members of parliament, their ministers, they are teaching them meditation and mindfulness. Police, the army, special forces, special tactic forces, they are taught meditation and mindfulness. And I'll tell you, if you go Google about it, you'll find the American Army Special Forces, they did an experiment when they were sending their soldiers to Afghanistan. One batch, they were taught mindfulness, and the other one was not. Boom, they went to Afghanistan during the heat of war. Those who were schooled in meditation and mindfulness had fewer casualties. And also, they did not injure people who were not old. collateral damage was less as compared to the other group. And before the end of the experiment, a lot of the people who had not been trained in mindfulness and meditation started saying, we want to. Because they had seen the benefits. Thinking straight, taking a moment to think, to reflect, and to do what is effective at any given time. It saves money, saves a lot of time, saves life. And it is so good for you as an individual. It is a good feeling. In schools and universities, meditation, mindfulness has been proved beyond reasonable doubt that children who, even from kindergarten, from nursery, going up to primary school to secondary school, followed through in experiments, they've been seen to excel much, much better in school, in class. And their pass rate is good. And even in life after school, in university, and so on, they have also shown that they are better people. Because they are patient. What does the Bible say about those who wait upon the Lord? Those who wait upon the Lord, they shall be given wings like eagles, and they shall soar fly above, and they will excel. This is what it means. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the peaceful. Blessed are the peacemakers. That is meditation hidden within the Beatitudes. You know what? When you are meek or when you are merciful, it doesn't mean that you can't fight. But you know when to keep your gun on set. Vanopinga happy. Ukaona kuti masoja zvekuzimbabwe zvinokupfura vanhu pese pese. It's because havana. Look at the training. I think you guys have seen the videos of soldiers training in Zimbabwe. One of the years, around 2010, 11, my daughter was about 4 years old. She went to Zimbabwe. Wakaenda kumori step. Akaona mapurisa achitrainwa nezvaaitwa. She asked the question, why? What have these people done? And the mom said, mapurisa are trained. So why are they kicking and beating them up when they are police? This is a 4-year-old daughter. Now, you are teaching someone who is going to police. The police job is to help, not to injure, not to harm, not to destroy. So they must be taught in a compassionate way. That's this way. Masoja, how can you go to a mission in peacekeeping when you are such aggressive and trigger happy? So it pays to teach these soldiers, these police officers, these CIO, the art of mindfulness and meditation, so that they understand the essence of keeping still, of keeping calm, and calculating and measuring and doing what is effective. By keeping your gun on set. You don't have to fire. You don't have to hit someone. It's never too late to learn this skills. That's it. Let me tell you, my dear brothers and sisters, out there. Easter, azvinobasa kuti Jesu akamuka musi weSunday kana kuti musi weMonday kana kuti tigonetsana mugotoita debate rekutoti mumwe munhu anotohetuka kubuda chechi. munhu iyeyo achiri mutete pashoko, achiri kutoda kudzidza the art of meditation, the art of mindfulness, because the word itself rinototaura kuti ivai nemwoyo murefu kune vadiki pakutenda. It means you must have patience. And what does Paul write about patience? He says you must be patient in your afflictions. Patience in afflictions. Now, it's not a challenge. I want you to get to YouTube at some point when we are done with this and go and search the experiment on patience, on the benefits of training your children to be patient from a very young age. And also, please, you go onto YouTube if you can, or if you can buy a book. There's a book by Goleman, which is entitled Emotional Intelligence. I want you to read this book. It's a powerful book which teaches about understanding yourself. This thing called self-awareness. That is meditation. That is mindfulness. Self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is centered on understanding your emotional being, your wiring, the wiring of your brain, and how you can use it to enhance your life, to improve the quality of your life. Kana wakamborowa munhu ndikuda kuyasha, you had lost control of your emotions. Your emotions were controlling you. Okay, let me ask you. Kana wakamborowa mwana ndikuda kuyasha, kana wakamborowa mudzimai, kana wakamborowa muchero umwe munhu neighbor, you have got a serious problem. Because I'll tell you, every time you beat up, if you are a human being, I don't know man, and when that shoko akanzi na Jesu Christ, you will be known and identified as my disciples by loving one another. Then you will know. Madam zvinhu zvawaita izvezvi zvinotsamisa. Murume wangu zvinhu zvaaita izvezvi zvinotsamisa. Mwana uyu zvinhu zvaaita izvi zvinotsamisa. What is the best way of dealing with it? And you take a step back from the problem. That is meditation, that is mindfulness. You are aware this is a problem. And you know it is a problem. And you know this can lead into something really, really bad, because the way you are feeling now is not good. I've said to you before. And okay, let us say, if you understand basic, if you have a basic knowledge of emotion, you know what things like anger. This is a universal emotion that comes as a package from birth. You don't have to teach someone to be angry. So anger has been with human beings for thousands, and with reptiles and animals for millions of years, because animals have been there millions of years before us. So anger is an emotion that is millions of years old, and we have got it. Ukakutarisa imbwa kana yashatirwa inonyinura mazino, kana iwewe futi kana wakushatirwa unotanga kushatisa kumeso and unonyinura. Saka hatina kusiyana. Kana nyoka chaiga ndiyakushatirwa, hatina, kana insect kasvosve chaivo kana kafinwa, watch them. So this emotion comes as a package of that. So if you are self-aware, then you know it is the knowledge that anger came with me from that. So how do I manage this anger that came with me from that? But you cannot do something to address your anger. Why don't you make up your anger? And making up your anger is practice mindfulness and meditation. See? I like it. I like it. If we know that, we know what kind of hasha dzakuya, heart rate starts to go. Because those zero zinoitika mauri. And once that starts happening, you know kuti kana mafungiro angu ndinenge ndangofunga chete nokuti kana panofanira kurohwa munhu. That is a reptile. What does a lion think when somebody is invading their personal space? Fight. What's a snake think of when somebody is invading their personal space? Strike back. What does these animals do? That is what they do, and that is also what you think. So when anger is coming in, the first thing that we do is, because this amygdala is down here where the emotions are, what we first think of is what we have known for millions of years. Attack, attack, attack. This is a default setting that we have in ourselves. But we must install new apps in ourselves to say, okay, while you are saying attack is the best way at this time, let me take a step back and give this another thought and see if it doesn't change. Even some animals have learned, because they are adapting to conditions. Humans have invaded their forests and everything. They are adapting. They know now that through interactions with human beings, they know now attacking human beings always is dangerous, because human beings will kill you. So they have learned to give warning before they attack. So why can't we do the same? We have developed our brain. Do you know why we have a bigger brain? Brain yemhuka zhinji inoperera pasi pakumusoro hakuna chinhu. Hakuna sezvakambowanda kwemhuka. But kwako iwewe kune tunhu twakawanda that kune logic, kune wisdom, kune rationality, kune this, kune calculator. The brain has grown. That's why we now have got a bigger head. And our head possibly will grow bigger and bigger and bigger. But they know it's not going to be like that. But this explains why our heads have become bigger and they've got this shape to accommodate a more modified brain. So we need to know. We must get into that mode where we can say, ashanda dzinji. But is it worth kurowa mwana, kurowa mai, kana kurowa mukadzi, kana kurowa murume, kana kurowa neighbor, kana kuti does it really change the situation? Ukabata mukadzi wako ane chikomba, kana ukarova chikomba chacho zvichabvisa kurarwa naye kwaitwa? No. Kana ukarova mukadzi wacho, kana ukarova murume wacho zvichabvisa kurarwa kwacho kwawaita? No. It's not going to change. Zvatoitika. And kuvarova, unozviparira most of those, it's you who is going to end up in jail. And paying damages are there. Because the judge will say, okay, wakabata mukadzi wako ane chikomba, nguvayo matei, saka wakazorova munhu nguvayo kuma half past 10. Okay, kuma half past 10 Saka from 10 o'clock to 10, you did not find a way to deal with this matter in a more civil way, but use aggression. Then the judge or magistrate begin now to look at the force that you used, whether it was proportionally appropriate. You are told, no, you used too much force. Vanhu vakamurowa vamubata ari mumba make aba, and iwewe ndiwoenda kujeri mbavha yobuda yosara ipanzi. Iwewe nyakuona mbavha iri mumba mako woirowa, magistrate okutaura kuti okay, mbavha yenge iri amugere kwete yenge isina. Pane zvimwe zvakaita yakakumbira kuti sorry, let me go. Saka wakazotorere baseball bat, so wakazotorere pfuti, wakazomupfurirei in the first place. Iye akunge achitokumbira kuti tindirezere ndiende zvangu, please call the police. Why did you beat them up? Why did you kill them? And you end up with first degree and you are subject to any. But if you have learned this art of standing back a little bit and giving your mind time to process and think and do what is effective, you would have got out of that. That's self-awareness. It saves life. So self-awareness, it does not only end in managing emotions, but also looking at these things. When we argue about yes, which are Pentecost? Why do we celebrate Pentecost? And are these the real days they will celebrate Pentecost? Yeah, just because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The days do not matter. That is just Christ Katarisa. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is not 3 days in terms of hours. Jesu Kristu anochinja zvinhu zvakawanda. Ngatitarisire pakupinda kwaJesu mumusha kwakanaka kwazvo. Jesu anopinda mumusha weJerusarema. Auti kune vadzidzi vake abvunzwa kunzi munoda kuti Pasika, where do you want us to prepare the feast of Passover? And he tells them, when you go into the town, you shall see somebody carrying chirongo. Iyeyo mubvunzei kuti ndepapi patingagadzirire our Lord Passover, and he will show you. Now, ndinoda kuti muzive kuti if we go back to the beginning of the feast of Passover, munoziva imimi kuti feast of Passover yanga itori nemutemo kunzi munosarudza gwai. You choose a 1-year-old lamb or a 1-year-old kid, goat. Morichenge pakanaka parisaitwe zvimwe zvinhu nekuda kuti rinofanira kunge risina chipomerwa, risina gwapa, risina kushatiswa. So they had to keep it for a period of time. Then on the night at twilight of day of unleavened bread, you slaughter it. Then moigocha, moidya, yese yakangochwa, hapana chinoitwa zvekubikwa. Now, vadzidzi vaJesu vakatongobvunza kuti tonogadzirira Pasika papi. They were coming into the city. So it means hapana kugadzirirwa gadziriro yamunoziva yakasetwa. This is Jesus Christ transforming the way. Hey, kana wakuverenga Bible word by word, let me tell you what mindfulness and meditation teaches you. It teaches you to be very, very attentive to detail so that you don't miss things. When you read the Bible or any book, I used to be a teacher. I used to teach Shona, my mother language. I also used to teach English as a hobby for people who would have failed English. Let me tell you something. Munhu wese wandakaticha English aifoira paole whether anga aifoira kumakore kana kuti chii. Handina munhu aifeira ticha chirema. Kana vandai tichashona, if you can ask around wherever I thought kuti avakuru ava zvavari kutaura maererano nekuticha kwavo kwezvechokwadi, it was difficult to fail shona. Paunofeira shona endai kuticha inini, unenge utori nedambudziko rakakurisa kana kuti pane something chiri kuitika risiri dambudziko. It's not your own personal problem, but possibly this is about your development and things like that, and that's not your problem. But kana newo waitozviona kuti dai dasiri garo dai mati yangu iri pasina kubuda zvakanaka. Why was it like that? Because meditation, mindfulness, yoga, yes. And my attention to certain things, to detail, in as far as I'm concerned, is okay. I'm able to pick certain things. Saka nachoverenga Bible roda kuverengwa uchitarisa kuti izwi rakaseenzeswa kai, rakambobva kupi, rinogona maalternative ezwi ironi ndeapi, sei raiswa inzi past present, sei pari kusenzeswa first person, sei pari kusenzeswa third person, zvinhu zviri kumboitika. And that will give you an insight into a lot of things that most people miss. And remember, if you don't get it, don't be too harsh on yourself. What do we always say? This is being mindful. This is being meditative. When you teach yourself meditation and mindfulness, then you are aware of your abilities and disabilities. And you accept your disabilities and you also accept your abilities regardless. That is what you are. To wish for the better or for the worse, which is not, it's just wanting to stress yourself. That kana ukabata mukadzi pane chikomba, kana ukarova chikomba chacho chero ukachiuraya, chichabvisa here? Whatever has happened. No, it doesn't. Tinokubatsira iwewe, tinokusevha iwewe, is to say, okay, here is the problem. Sei madhamu wangu wakuita zvezvikomba, vamonyatsoita sei? Sei baba vana vakuita zvemagirlfriend? Sei vana vangu vakuenda kumaraini, vakunokwata, havachauyi pamba netime? Chii chaitika? Why are students up in arms? Why are citizens up in arms against the state? A mindful president will sit down with this cabinet and say, what are the people saying? People are saying they want to demonstrate. People are saying they want to demonstrate. What's the problem? You don't lie to the president and say, vanhu vanonetsa mwazivere vanhini, kunyange wakaguta kunyange wakaita sei vanongonetsa chete. But you tell them, you know what, sir? The state of the nation is really, really bad. Kumabhenga hakuna mari. Vanhu vari kurara muqueue, vachida kutora chitupa. Sure, in the 21st century, munhu anorara paqueue yekutora chitupa in the 21st century, and you want people to just smile and say, it's not sound. That is really, really unacceptable. And when people stand up to say, this is not acceptable in a democracy in the 21st century, why then do you shoot people? This is a genuine complaint. You go to hospital, And there's no medicine. People are saying, we remember when it was Mugabe or when it was Smith, you would go to the clinic and the clinics will be clean and the nurses will be happy and everything. So what is happening today? Teachers, you go to the schools, during this period we used to do this. But what's the problem today? I've always asked even my employer and said, why do you wait for me to tell you that I need a salary review? Do you not know it? Why inini baba muri baba wemumba imi munomirirei kuti mai vakudze kuti wakuda kutenga mabhurugwa manyowani, wakuda kutenga mabhura manyowani, mumba muri kuda chikafu chakadii, iwe unozwa kuti mukadzi wako haseidzi. She relies on you because you are the breadwinner, you are the one who is going to work. Wakapedza kutenga bhurugwa 2014, this is 2021, saka vari kufunga kuti vari kutengerwa mabhurugwa. Vana vako vakapedzera kuvatengera underwear rini. Saka iwe uri kufunga kuti vari kutengerwa nani kana iwe baba vacho semutenga. Hino kuona vana vakubuda panze, vakutora shamhu, vakutora pini yokumurova kuti uri kuita musikana. Instead of standing back and saying, nai vana mashaya chiipamba pano. It is self-denial. And being self-denial is not mindfulness. It is not meditation. Self-awareness is knowing what is happening around you. Because you know, unoenda kubhawa uchidzoka kumba kwako unoedza. Saka mukadzi wako unoda kuti arare nani mumakumbezi. Unouya uchinwa hwahwa, unouya uchinwa fodya, mbanje, musombodiya, everything. Mukadzi wako opangawo kurara nemukadzi nemurume ari kubhuirira zvakanaka. And then you think the solution kana wamuona ine chikombo. Handisi kuti mukadzi wacho kuita chikombo wakanaka, because she also must be self-aware and address these problems. That what matters is not when Jesus Christ died. It is why he gave his life. Martha and Mary, takaita a couple of weeks ago, when Jesus Christ finally arrived, they were saying, they were blaming Jesus Christ. At that time, I did not say blaming, because we were on a different, we were talking about a different thing. But today I want to say they were blaming Jesus Christ. If you had been here, this is them. My brother would not have died. In other words, they were saying, because we are not here, that's why our brother is dead. But look, Jesus Christ did not notice the accusation, the blame. He gave them reassurance. Just have faith. If you have faith, I will do things that I ask for. Even Martha, we hear Martha or Mary who said, but I know. She quickly notices that, oh, she has done something that is really not nice. And she goes on to say, but I know whatever you ask from your Father, from God, you will deliver. So, in the same spirit of faith, Jesus Christ said, don't you know that I am the resurrection? Inini wacho ndine resurrection, ndini kumuka, ndine upenyu. If you have faith and if you believe in me, you won't die forever. Even pano pasi unorara. And he shouted, Lazarus, come out. And Lazarus' life was restored. This is the power of self-awareness. This is the power of faith. Saka Paul emphasizes kuwa Roma kuti, you know what? You must have faith in prayer. You must have faith in prayer. You must have joy in your hope. Now, I want to say to you, my dear brothers, and thank you for watching. It doesn't matter when Jesus Christ was crucified and when he resurrected. What is more important is keep your eyes, mind, body, and soul on this fact. Jesus Christ descended from heaven to save sinners. And he saved them by giving his own life. And although he was killed for that, he resurrected. And the reason why he resurrected is to show you that there is life after death. If you have faith, if you believe, there is life after death. Therefore, to believe in and have faith in this does not require Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what? No. It requires you to believe and have faith that this is the essence of who Jesus Christ is. Saka whether wati happy Easter, whether wati chini on a Friday, on a Good Friday, on a Good Saturday, Good Sunday, Monday, it no longer matters. Because tamunzwa Jesu wacho kuti kubvira kwokutanga chaiko chaiko preparation yacho yePassover, it was done in a way that is new. That's why he calls himself new. And Jesus Christ says something. A verse that is controversial to a lot of people. I did not come to change the law and the prophets, but I came to fulfill. He came to fulfill, not to change. What does that mean? If you look at this, kana munhu achitaura kuti aiwa kuuya kwandaita panapa inini pamusangano wenyu wamandikoka panapa ndina kuuya kuzochinja asi ndauya kuzozvizadzisa. Ari kutaura kuti iye is the ultimate answer to whatever you have been gathered here for, and he has got the answers and the solutions, and he's going to deliver them. So Jesus Christ became the answer. He became the fulfillment of whatever Jeremiah's, Isaiah's, Joshua's, Jacob's, Deuteronomy, Numbers, Genesis was talking about. We hear God speaking to someone. Let us. The bottom, when you are trained in mindfulness, in meditation, you have got a level of self-awareness, not only self-awareness, but also aware of your surroundings and aware of a lot of things that is happening around you and within you. It means God was speaking to someone. And a lot of people who are still novices in the faith will possibly just omit it, or they don't even hear it. But it means you are speaking to someone. Let us becomes two, not one. And Jesus Christ told us before even the earth and during creation, he was. And today, he is. During, in the present moment, and after the judgment. He will still be there. Saka haana Good Friday. But inguva yakaiswa nevanhu vanoti tinoda kuwana mahours zvese zvekuita mahours of the day and everything. Kwakange kusina. What does the word of God tell us? Shoko rinotaura kuti nguva time frames dzevanhu netime frames timeline yaMwari netimeline yedu zvakasiyana. Timeline yaMwari, one day can mean a million years. A million years can mean just one day. That's why people vari kunetseka kuti Jesu akati tichadzoka. Ishe vakaenda asi vachadzoka. Bwana Paul vakamboenga vachiita chirikiti chekufunga kuti haave nekuti pakangonyorwa kunzi musati vamwe venyu vasati vafa. They did not understand these things until it dawned on them to say, no. Time yaMwari netime yevanhu zvakasiyana. People are saying it has been 2,000 years since Jesus Christ ascended to heaven. So when is he going to come back? He will come back. Or maybe he has already come back. It's only that you don't notice. Well, he said, I will be back. And for a couple of thousand years, myself and the people who would have died for me, you will judge the world and evil and bound it and throw it into that. And then another thousands of years, and then the end will come. And this is what you will see. And it begins to explain a lot of things. Don't focus on those things. Otherwise, you will lose sight of what really matters. What really matters is what Jesus Christ instructed you and me. You know what? If you want to be my disciples, you must deny yourself. Deny yourself. And denying yourself is not to say I am nothing. No. It's not to say my life is nothing. No. It is to say, God, I am aware of the here and now, and I know what is. And a lot of the times I have said, where you don't want to be is yours. If you hate prison, then usaite zvinhu zvinoita kuti uzoenda mujeri, nekuti shamari ukaenda mujeri upenyu hunokunetsa. But ukaenda mujeri and you love being in jail, because mhosva wakaparara. Kana wapara mhosva, what else do you expect? Unotsamwira mupurisa nekuti wabatwa zvimhanyi uchisipida. Unotsamwira kamera iri kukutora nekuda kuti uri kusipoka sipida. Zvitsamwire iwewe. But there is no point also to hit yourself too hard, because you just got carried away. You have got to love the situation that you are in. Not judging it bad or good, but to be what it is. And let things be. And this is when things begin to turn for the good or for the worse. If you deny pain, when pain, we know pain is painful. And you don't want pain to be painful, it becomes even more painful. But if you open the door of your heart, you open the door of your mind, and say, pain, I know pain, you're painful. You know what? I invite you. Here I am. The door to my heart is open. The door to my mind is open. Let us live amicably. You and me, you are in me, and I am letting you be. And please be gentle, so that we can live harmoniously and you let it be. Your body, chemistry, there's a lot of things that happen in our body. I've always said, you know what? Mwari akasika miri uyu kuti usanwe even a single tablet. Ndosaka makaona mugadheni Eden musina chipatara. Chipatara zvakazouya nemunhu nekuda kwekuramba kutolerata. Not wanting to give God time, not being patient with God. That and then going to watch the experiment on patience on kids. Or you type marshmallow experiment on patience. Marshmallow experiment on patience. Marshmallow switch like a power station on patience. Vana vanodzidziswa patience from a very young age. They develop better. Vana vanodzidziswa to be self-aware. Dzidzisai vana kutaura zvavari kufunga, kwete kuwadzvanyirira kuti vasataure zvavari kufunga. Kana mwana maona kuti pane something chamuita upset, ask them, how are you feeling? It gives uri kumupa mukana wekuti azvi-express how they feel, and they will tell you, I am terrified, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm worried, I'm anxious. And when they've told you how they are feeling, then you go on to ask them, you go to validate, I can see you are worried. And I'm here to support you. What do you think you need to do? What you are doing is you are teaching them to problem solve. Rather than you solving their problem, you are teaching them to problem solve. In other words, you are developing their frontal cortex. Why to override my emotions? When I'm anxious, I should not run away and cower in a corner. But I need to face the anxiety and talk to my dad, or talk to mom, talk to a brother, to a sister. And they tell you, I think I need to drink some water. And you say, okay, do you want me to get the water for you, or you want to go and get it? And they say, I think if you get it for me, that will be okay, please. And you get them water and you give them to drink, or you say, okay, let's go together. Because they've generated the solution. You support them. I will tell you. Mwana anokura piwa mukana iwoyo. Their development of this kobingo will be great. This is self-awareness. But while Jinji read is not, Baba man. Mwana uti, but dad, what are you teaching them? You are teaching them kuti kutaura dambudziko rake akugamuchirwe nesociety. This is exactly what the problem in Zimbabwe is. The problem in Zimbabwe stems from the liberation struggle. People who did not get good debrief, demobilization. It was not done in the right way, where soldiers, ex-combatants, and so on should have been, we expected them to have been given a good top-down, humanizing them. When you're trained to act like an animal, when you leave the force, you definitely need to be humanized. I talk a lot. Let me finish off by saying, there are powerful statements that we need to say to ourselves. That gives us the desire to see tomorrow. And by the way, munhu akasiyana nemhuka. Iwewe wakasiyana nemhuka. You are different from an animal. Even shoko rinotaura kudaro kuti some people will act like animals, and because of their way of acting like animals, acting by instinct, they will be judged and punished because of that. We are different from animals in the sense that we think. We don't just use this lower bit of our reptile brain, but we use the bigger part of our brain to start assessing what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm smelling, what I'm tasting, what I'm sense of touch, process it, and act accordingly. Saka, ndikuti inini, unoziva, pane zvimwe zvinhu zvatofanira kuzvidzidzisa now and then. Ndamboti for example, if you are somebody who is in lots of problems and your life looks like, it never rains, but poor, you can meditate on statements like, this too shall pass, and I will overcome. I'm aware I am facing a lot of problems, and this too will pass. A statement like that, repeated over and over and over every day when you're doing your meditation, will help to rewire your brain from being negative to being positive. Some people feel rubbish. They think they're worthless because of things that have happened to them. Obviously, if you have been abused in life, you have been made a subject for, anyone who wants to ugly things, they've done it. You have been the subject. Like what is happening at the moment in our country, Zimbabwe, to MDC Alliance supporters. It's traumatic. I will tell you that a lot of MDC Alliance supporters will need trauma therapy because it's traumatizing. Every time you want to, because you don't know what's going to happen. Suddenly your supporters can say anything. They can tell you, I saw it with my own eyes, and they get away with murder. Living in such an environment, you need something to give you the power, the willpower to live. And if you give your mind and body and soul the willpower to live, for example, you can say, my body is a temple of God, and I will preserve this temple with honor. That will give you the power and strength to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, whatever is going to happen, I'm not going to fall into a temptation to defile this temple. Not because I'm not going to defile this temple because it is a temple of God, and I will keep it holy. And you meditate upon that. It will help you to overcome. If you're one of those people struggling with weight, there are also statements about that. You can say, my food and health are important, and I will eat and exercise reasonably. I'll eat responsibly and exercise reasonably. And you repeat these statements. This will give you an inspiration to look forward to a nice and healthy plate of food. I know there are people out there who struggle with eating. People with eating disorders. These are powerful statements that you can use. The value of food to the human being. The value of keeping yourself safe. Jesus Christ said, let it be done with love and humility and sincerity. If you are still chasing money and not value in worthiness of self, then something is not right with you. Because let me tell you, if you don't love your neighbor as yourself, if you don't love your enemies, if you do not love your family, You unaita millions. I was listening to one billionaire yesterday. Akataura zvakanibata zvekuti they said, they used to chase money. They used to be obsessed with making money. Until his wife one day said, you know what? You have lost focus of your marriage, our marriage, because of love for money. And this has put our marriage on some rocks. And they were saying, when that was said, it suddenly dawned on me that I had not been paying attention to my wife. I have not been paying attention to my wife. Every time kutsvaga mari, kufunga kuti how can I make more money? You're already a millionaire. Money is not happiness. Marombe chaiwo chaiwo asina kana sendi, you can be happy. That is what is important. Self-fulfillment, self-actualization. Not by money, but by being self-aware, knowing yourself and your relationships. What matters more? It is inner peace, inner joy, inner happiness. Not caused by the presence of money, but by the presence of self-fulfillment, the fulfillment of the human being as a meaningful person. This is what matters more. And they were saying, from that day on, I changed and I started to chase my wife. We had millions, and my wife was not happy. I thought I was searching for more money to make my wife happy. Money is not the answer. Yes, you know what? Money corrupts, power corrupts. When you've got a lot of money, you can go through any office. Kana une mari Biden je unoswera umoona kupera kwesvondo. Most powerful person on earth. Putin je unoswera umoona, Jinping unoswera umoona. Nangagwa unoswera wakutodya naye, unoswera naye within minutes. But it doesn't bring you happiness. What brings you happiness is this inner peace. That's why Jesus Christ said, when they tell you the kingdom is coming from the east, west, north, south, up or down, do not believe them, they lie. The kingdom is within you. It is inside you. First and foremost, fulfill yourself. If happiness was for money, I would repeat this over and over and over, almost like every time I do it. If happiness was to do with money, we wouldn't see celebrities committing suicide. Because they commit suicide because they are sad. With all the millions, with all the billions, they are sad. Teach them meditation and mindfulness. They realize it is the now, the here and now that matters. It is the here and now that really, really, really matters. Loving kindness towards yourself first, before you give it out. Forgiveness, forgiving yourself first, before you can forgive the other person. Empathy, empathizing towards yourself, empathy towards yourself. Compassion, being compassionate towards yourself. You wake up in the morning, you have a shower, you have a shave, or comb your hair, put on a nice shirt, and have something to eat, and read a paper, read the magazines, go through the internet, say hi to your family, have fun, jump, roll, and this self-fulfilled And then you go out to your neighbors and do the same. You do that to your community, to your country, and you make it bigger. It gives you more sense of purpose. Jesus Christ. Listen, my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my dad, and all those that matter are the ones who are sitting in front of me, not you guys. You don't even believe in me. Why should you be so important? Inside yourself. Warm-hearted. If we put this together, they all are formed on one way, love. So, EvangMangwende is celebrate my days. I don't really celebrate days, and I don't really keep the diary of days. Madays andinochengeta diary ndeyekubasa. Kunzi ndichaona nhindi musi wakati, ndichaita zvakati musi wakati nanhindi. But once it's gone, Mwari wakandipawo chipo ichocho chekuti once a date is gone, my mind usually says it is gone. As a result, I'm not one of those people who are stressed or who are distressed or who have got a problem with memories from the past. Because I don't have the dates. I don't keep them. I also try not to keep photographs, letters, and other stuff that might remind me of painful moments. Iwe wakarambwa nemusikana kana nemukadzi kana nemurume kana nechii, uri kuchengetera tsamba dzaindokunyorera, uri kuchengetera maphotographs acho, kana zvichituka atarisa anorwadza, uri wachengetera. Kana paine date inomurwadza, uri kuri remembere, uri kutorisira reminder. Why are you putting a reminder for a date that causes you pain? Unozozviona kuti self awareness yako iwewe iri very low. Zvinhu zvinokudistressa, uri kuda kuzvikipa tumwemoto. Why? It doesn't matter what happened, even if it was a near death. Why are you keeping the date? Why is it an anniversary? Why? Do you want to say anniversary yemusi wandakashayikirwa namai nababa nemunini nemwana nechi? Why is it an anniversary? Why are you keeping it if it is painful? And you are depressed because of it. You want to kill you because somebody passed away 15, 40 years ago. I'm just talking. These are facts. And in meditation and mindfulness, these are the things that you learn to let go. There's no way you're going to change the past. The dead are dead and they are gone. Jesus Christ said, the dead have nothing to do with the living. They are gone. Even Ecclesiastes says about it. It is a matter of understanding what the meaning is. Some people might, it's not because, we are not saying I'm not saying don't remember those days. If you can manage them, well, remember them. But I'm just worried about the shit or option also. You're murume, nomukadzi. Unoda kurangarira zuva rakafa ex-husband yako kana ex-wife. Rokushayisa mufaro nhasi wotadza kufara nevana vako vari mumarriage iyi. Because zvinhu zvakapfuura kudaro. Let us be serious. I think that's true. That is the truth. Jesus Christ said, it is only the truth that will set you free. If you deny these living facts, they are facts of life. Tough luck if you don't accept them. But this is what life is. If it's raining, it's raining. If you deny that it's raining, if it's snowing, it's snowing. If it is hot, no matter how much you might hate the sun, you can't turn it down. Tough luck. No matter how you might hate a tornado, a cyclone, you cannot turn down its power. You've got to adapt. You've got to accept. The cyclone is coming. What's the best thing to do is to go and hide in safety. Go to high ground if it is with what the rain and everything. If you think, oh no, 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 it's not going to happen. You don't kneel when a angry bull of an elephant is charging to pray. You don't kneel to pray when a hungry lion is coming for you. You run. This is reality, and this is the word of God. May God bless you, be with you. And tomorrow, we will practice some meditation and mindfulness of 45 minutes. Let us keep practicing when normal. And thank you for watching. And please share widely my videos. And let us continue to pray for our country, Zimbabwe, and also pray for yourselves, pray for your family, and pray for your well-being. And remember, Jesus Christ said, it is about loving kindness, forgiveness, empathy, compassion, warm-heartedness that will take us through, and to love our God with all our body, mind, heart, and soul. And let God be God. The rest you will sort out. God bless you, and good night.